because of weather, we cannot actually get into New York just yet.
My personal goal, challenge for 2025 is
what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear, the camera's here and the microphones and they
Well, it's Sunday morning. Normally, Sunday is the only day of the week that I allow myself to kind of sleep in a little bit and have a lazy morning. I work out every other day of the week with Damien, but I'm actually heading to the office to do a local news segment on tariffs, the potential incoming tariffs, and the importance of manufacturing.
I want to turn now to a Fox 5 consumer alert. Shopping habits are changing and tariffs may be to blame. David Heacock is the CEO of Filterbuy, is joining us now live.
The one thing that I'm watching that I think is super important is, you have these online marketplaces like Temu or Amazon Haul that are actually able to kind of get around these tariffs, because currently U.S. tariff laws, any purchase under $800 is exempt from tariffs, and there's been absolutely no talk about that in this administration that I've seen. And so if that remains, that means that you can continue to buy on those.
Well, just did my first ever local news clip. I think I got through it okay. You can be the judge.
So my producer and cameraman decided to take this week off. So I figured I would use it as an opportunity to show you a week in the life of the CEO of Filterbuy. But believe it or not, my week actually started yesterday on Sunday morning when I actually first started recording. Here I am, 41 years old, be 42 next month, have been an entrepreneur more or less for 30 years. In the end, the real lesson I want to put on display is accountability. And the second thing, why am I doing this YouTube series? Like, I actually got a comment yesterday, you're spending all this time doing this YouTube series, your time is so valuable that you have a private jet, ha ha ha, we know what's coming next. I'm guessing he thinks I'm about to sell a course or something like that, which could not be further from the truth. There are, of course, some long-term business reasons that I'm doing it, right? But a big motivation for me is really to share with people, my perspective on how you can go out and be successful regardless of your starting point, looking in off the beaten path ways that the big influencers that most people follow aren't talking about.
So I just finished my Monday morning workout. I'm going to introduce you to Damien on Saturday when we have a bit more time, because I'm actually in a bit of a rush today. Got a very busy day of meetings and whatnot. One of the only regrets that I have in my life, I wish I had started weightlifting in my 20s. It's so much easier to build muscle and to build that raw strength that then can carry you on to the rest of your life, and it's so much easier to maintain. I'm just really far behind where I could be if I had just, taken it more seriously early on in my life. I'm largely correcting it now, and I'm very happy with where I am. On Saturday, Damien and I are going to actually talk a little bit about my journey, and as well as a personal goal that I am working on for next year, which I'm going to blast to everybody so that you all can keep me honest on my personal mission, at least for 2025.
Nice. Good job. Good job.
First thing Monday morning, I have a meeting with a executive performance coach named Dr. Julie Gerner. And I've been doing this for about the last 18 months, and it's been incredibly impactful for me. I don't have a board of directors, I don't have investors. It's really just me at the end of the day. I need to build real accountability into my life. About 18 months ago, I was in a position where I didn't know what I wanted out of the rest of my life. But I started working with her, started solidifying my goals, my thinking, and having somebody that I'm accountable to that oftentimes before that was just in my head. Having that kind of thought partner and that person to be able to bounce ideas off of in a non-threatening way has been extremely important to me, and she's great at what she does. Why I ultimately decided to go so public, had the confidence to go so public, came from my time with Dr. Gerner. It was an evolution to me, like realizing this is really who I am, what I want to go for, what I want to achieve. We still talk and check in for an hour every week has been incredibly important to me. And so I would encourage you to think about ways to build accountability into your life. And if you're stuck or if you need some help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Have a great week. Thanks for the conversation. Talk to you later. So I'm filming this week in the life, from my point of view, and they're making me use the camera the whole time. But we're actually filming some other stuff. So Eric is actually with me, but he's just making me do all the work this week. I don't really know how that works. He just wanted the free ride, I guess. We're off to New Kensington, Pennsylvania, where we have a full day. I've got a few meetings with the team there that we've got to go over, and we're actually meeting a guy named John, who we will introduce, and maybe Eric we'll film some of that and we'll do a bigger episode on it. But John is a young entrepreneur that's in the third-party fulfillment space. So just finished meeting up with the team here and walking around our warehouse space. Been a good day here in New Kensington. It's always fun coming around. Every time I come in, I see something new and learn something new, and it's true story. And I've been watching the controllers on. We're currently sitting in an airport lounge or an FBO lounge because of weather. We cannot actually get into New York just yet, and I've got two guys from New Jersey with me. Our best case scenario is we're going to get them back to JFK, which there's Eric with his Christmas tree, and Jake and John. Well, just got into New York City. I lived in New York for about 15 years, so for me, coming back to the city is always fun, and it feels like coming home to me. Spending the time that I did with John today was really invigorating because I just love the energy of young entrepreneurs, and I really feed off of that, and it just gets me excited.
Good morning, Wednesday morning in New York City. About to go do a workout with Damien as I start basically every day of the week that way. It's amazing how crazy New York is this time of year.
I gotta tell you, I hate working out when I'm traveling.
I'll prep all different zones tomorrow, but we should play by ear and get these zones in some shorter intervals.
But I'm always so thankful when I do it. Off to shower and get ready for a busy day ahead.
Well, I'm stuck in traffic in the Lincoln Tunnel coming back from New Jersey, where I met my friend John, who I look forward to sharing an episode with you all about. As I've articulated over and over again, I'm on a mission to build the world's leading indoor air quality company. And I realized that I was really committed to that in the last year. By me going public and putting that goal on blast publicly, my actual motivation deep down, why did I do it? If I had to put one reason for it, it was to build that accountability. I work with Dr. Gerner on the coaching because I needed to have accountability. I work with Damien for my longevity and my fitness. It's not an area that I naturally like to work on, and so I forced myself to do it by creating accountability in my life. I think that I built a unique set of skills and knowledge that is worth sharing, and I want to document it and hopefully to help people, but also, if nothing else, for my daughters years down the road to look at it and see what their dad was up to when he was operating at his prime. So I'm just walking back to my hotel. Spent my afternoon filming a podcast with Shane Parrish and the Knowledge Project, and it's really cool. First big podcast I've done, and a lot of work and emails and phone calls and meetings in between, but that's kind of life when you're operating a business and also trying to grow and build the brand in the way that I'm out there doing it.
Headed to the gym. Today is a cardio day, so not really much exciting stuff to show, but cardio and high heart rate VO2 max training. Happy Thursday morning out here, still grinding. Let's go.
So I'm off to a meeting at the Wall Street Journal, walkable from my hotel, so I'm getting to walk on this very cold but beautiful day here in the city. I talk a lot about putting in the reps, and here I am dodging people, talking to camera, putting in the reps. 2 months ago I had never picked up a camera, really, even for a selfie or anything. Good morning. It's Sunday morning, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and I'm heading into my office to do some work, and got me thinking. I'm out here experimenting, figuring it out, putting in the reps, so a year from now it's natural for me. Okay, just got back from meeting with Chip at the Wall Street Journal. Had a very nice conversation with him about all types of business topics. You know, I kind of talked about this going into the meeting, but being so public and going and talking to a reporter on record for 45 minutes is something that makes me very uncomfortable. It's not something that I have, not a skill I've practiced a lot, right? I'm leaning into that, just like I'm leaning into this filming and documenting my journey and sharing it with everyone. It's not natural for me, and I think you need to look at your life and think about, you know, what are you scared of, but that you know is something that you need to do it if you want to achieve your goals and your vision, and then just burn all the boats behind you, go out and do it. I gotta do a couple of Zoom meetings and answer a few emails before I'm off to a meeting with Google. Catch up with you later.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
Okay, just got back to the plane after a meeting with Google. I actually cheated and sent Eric, my camera guy, back to the plane with all of our stuff, and I took a Blade helicopter to be able to finish the meeting out and try to get out on time and maybe make it home for dinner, or at least pretty close to it if I'm lucky. Well, it's Friday morning. Got some rest after a very long day yesterday and a very long week. One of the most fun parts about it to me is I get to operate on so many different things at the same time. So whether that be operations and seeing our operations team in Pennsylvania, or doing some filming with a young entrepreneur that I got to meet because of this channel. I really get to do so many interesting things, and that's really fun for me. For me, that's really important. I'm so thankful that I get the chance to do it. But I think, as you can also tell, I'm out here working really hard. I don't know that this pace is sustainable forever, but for me right now, I find it very energizing. I woke up this morning, got out of bed, ready to take on my day again. Okay, Damien, it's Friday morning.
Good morning.
And it's a little windy. Looks like we might get rained on, but we're gonna go for a run, because we go for a run every week. As I gotta show him how it's done. Okay, we're off.
Cool young Lou, trying to cash his microphone check 212. Wanna believe my own hype, but it's too untrue. The world brought me to my knees. What have you brung you? Did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? Where your name in on the guest list? Who brung you? You, the more famous person.
My favorite part of the run, coming through here, knowing I'm on the home stretch. We probably have a mile to go, give or take. Then we're done. So that means we're about 3 miles in, 3¼ miles in or so. I'm off to work.
Damien, have a good day. I just got into the office Friday morning. I'm running a bit later than I would like. I've got meetings literally all day, starting at 9, going till about 4. I'm late, which I absolutely hate being late, especially somebody internally. I'm supposed to meet with Kalam, CMO. She's generally by 9 o'clock. On Friday. It's 9:04, which is very rude of me, but I'm logging in now. Hopefully she hasn't gone away. First meeting down. So I just got off my monthly review with Amazon. Right before that, I did an hour of a live stream at 11, and I realized that I got so tied up I forgot to actually update for my POV that I'm supposed to be filming for what I was doing. So, I wanted to actually use it as a reminder that every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I am going live to take your questions about anything business related. Send us your questions on YouTube community, or show up and ask your questions live, and I will do my best to answer them. We're gonna do it every Friday, rain or shine, holiday or not. But I've had a super busy day today. Have a lot more meetings until at least 4 o'clock. It's 12:30 now. I haven't eaten lunch yet. I'm gonna try to grab some lunch. Have another 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I'm basically booked. Then we're gonna wrap up this Friday. Been a long week, but got a lot of momentum for the end of the year. Okay, we're gonna try something a little meta here. I have to record the voiceovers that go into these long form episodes. And so for this episode that we're filming, the POV episode, I actually now have to record the outro. I'm actually not gonna do an intro in this one because, you know, this is my POV. I'm gonna intro it. Don't forget to subscribe because next week I'm doing something most private company CEOs wouldn't dream of. I'm putting my neck on the line and publicly sharing my company's actual revenue targets for 2025 and taking you behind the scenes with my team as we dive into how we intend to get there. I gotta say, that was a clean read. The pressure of the video is on. One and done. That's what they call me. And now I got looped into a TikTok challenge that we're about to do by these guys. So here we go.
Do we know our line?
Who's going to cue us?
Happy holidays from West Palm Beach. Now passing the phone to Talladega.
Great.
All right.
Great. Done.
It's
Done. Been an action-packed week. I think maybe you get a little taste of what it's like to operate at this level. And all I can tell you is we're going into 2025 strong. And I hope that you take that ride with me. So with that, I'm signing off Friday night. I'm gonna go in, have some dinner with my family, play with my kids.
I don't know, I might get a free pass at the gym today because we're the first people here. And according to Damien, they changed the code. So I guess that means I can go home and go back to sleep.
It's a beautiful day here in Florida though. We're in, we made it into the gym.
So I'm here with Damien Vasic. How do you say your last name exactly?
In Serbian?
In Serbian.
Vasic.
Vasic.
Close enough, yeah.
We work together six days a week, more or less, week in, week out, and you know that consistency over a few years has added up.
Usually when I start working with new clients, I ask them, how often do you work out now? Because it's very important, going from not working out to working out 6 or 7 days a week. That sounds very enthusiastic, but it usually turns out not to be good because everyone is very enthusiastic when they're first starting, but it doesn't take much to fall out of that routine and to go from 5 days a week to 1 day a week. Well, however, David and I started working out 6 days a week from the very beginning, and we stuck to it for 3.5 years now.
So, my personal goal, challenge for 2025 is I'm going to do 10 full range, non-assisted pull-ups by the end of 2025.
Okay. Nice, good job. That's fine.
Better than I thought. So I'm starting at 5, which is that's actually a PR because we're filming probably. Most I've ever done before is 4, and we generally do the multiple sets. But by the end of 2025, I'm going to be able to do 10 of those full range pull-ups. Keeping in mind, when Damien and I started this, I couldn't do one. 3.5 years of work got me to 5, but over the next year, it's gonna be 10. Maybe even more if we're lucky. We'll see. Don't forget to subscribe because next week, I'm doing something most private company CEOs wouldn't dream of. I'm putting my neck on the line and publicly sharing my company's actual revenue targets for 2025 and taking you behind the scenes with my team as we dive into how we intend to get there. So Dave, what is our goal in revenue for HVAC Solutions in 2025?
Well, firstly, let me just say, I hope it will be a walk of glory. And the line for HVAC Solutions will be $1 million, which will be about a doubling versus what we did in 2024.